Oh yes, so we're back with John Black with Romantic. I told you there's one of the big fish who is only 7 years. He's in town, so find your way later on, right here on the beat, and find out where he will be for your weekend. A lot of things happening over the weekend, so just relax wherever you are. We can get back to Daniel. Daniel, you're telling us about why you're here today on the project of the midwifery and the documentary and the screening of it, of course.
Exactly, yeah. So Canadian Midwives, we've been working the last few years here in South Sudan, and really we've been focusing on midwifery education, strengthening local association of nursing and midwifery, and also working to improve the regulatory bodies for nursing and midwifery in the country. But it's very exciting this week. We've been producing a documentary film called Voice, Choice, and Change, The Lives of Midwives. And really this film is following the lives of 2 midwives from South Sudan and 2 midwives from Canada. And we're having our first global public screening tomorrow at Nyakran Cultural Center, and the doors will be opening at 12. So we really want to talk about that today.
Why is it important? Why did you think of choosing 2 from South Sudan and 2 from outside South Sudan, if I may be precise?
Sure. Well, I mean, at the core of it, I mean, we're from Canada and we're working in South Sudan, so it relates a lot to the work that we're doing and the relationships that we have. But also, we're working internationally. We're seeing that midwives have common challenges everywhere around the world. Even though there's maybe a difference in resources in Canada and South Sudan, we still see there's a lot of commonalities. We really wanted to showcase that a midwife in Canada and a midwife in South Sudan, they're not so different. They perform the same life-saving, amazing services to women all around the world, and we want to show that. We want to contrast. We thought it was an amazing contrast to show the women in Canada working, to show the women in South Sudan working, and I think it produced a very interesting film.
Great. Let's now hear from the midwife herself. How is your life in South Sudan?
Thank you. My life in South Sudan as a midwife has been so challenging, but because of the knowledge I got, I can save the life of the mothers and the babies, unless if I have like a maternal death or either neonatal death, I will not be happy, because God has given me the chance to save the life of those mothers, not to die during birth, during pregnancy, and during labor.
Did you also learn that from Maridi?
Yes.
Oh, yes. How many years?
3 years.
And how many of years of experience do you have?
4 years now.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
Have you watched the documentary?
Yeah, I watched in May.
No.
That was on 15th.
Mm-hmm. Is there any similarity with your life as a midwife in South Sudan and in Canada?
The similarity is the practice is the same, regardless of the technology in Canada and what we have in South Sudan. Because what the technology they have in Canada is different from what we have. For us, we use our knowledge, the brain, and we identify, and then we take a decision without the technology. Like, for instance, scanning, where we have to refer mothers. So we assess using our eyes, our 4 senses, and then we take an action.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. David, did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, of course. Scovia is amazing, by the way. Mm-hmm. She tells this one story. I don't want to give too much away from the film, but she tells one story in the film about how she personally saved a mother's life. Can you tell us about that? Maybe a little bit.
Can you give us a line or two of the story before so that we get that energy, that psych to go and watch the documentary tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. The life experience I had, and I saved the life of that mother, was I was in labor shoot with the mother. She was in labor, but then at the end of the day, she developed PPH. So when she developed,
what
that
is PPH?
Postpartum hemorrhage, bleeding after delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So this mother bled until I had to tell the relative. The worst thing was the relative was not there. After immediately the mother gave birth, the relative left. So the mother had one child who was 1 year, plus that one who was the newborn baby. So I felt like, no, this mother must not die because of this kid.
And her husband wasn't there?
No. So I had to donate blood for this mother.
Donate
So-
from where?
From myself. I went to the lab, gave my own blood to this mother. So until we saved the life of this mother. Up to now, she appreciated me. She told me, up to now, she does not have any other ill health. So she's safe and she's healthy. So I felt pleased because appreciation comes from the community and from God, apart from the money we are given.
Interesting. There, you've heard it from Scovia. That means you have a massive story to watch tomorrow, both to listen and watch tomorrow. Let's go for a very quick break. When we come back, we'll ask Daniel why is it why they chose South Sudan for the first screening. Told me earlier on that this is the first of its kind around the world. He's going to find out that later in a moment. Just hang around. It's Friday anyway. It's weekend, so let's enjoy music. Oh yes, you can listen to more music every day, Monday to Friday, 10 to 2 p.m., 4 solid hours where you'll be interacting and enjoying music and all that you can expect as you send your greetings across the nation. Now we're back with our guests here with the beautiful lady who is with us right here in the studio. And then, of course, you're going to find out from Daniel. Tell us why you chose South Sudan for this first activity to happen in Nyakuran Culture Center.
I think the decision was a no-brainer. I think South Sudan is where we work. It's where our partners are located. It's where our friends are. It's where we built our friendships over the last 3 years. And I think it only makes sense to have it launched here first. It's a way to say thank you to Juba. It's a way to say thank you to South Sudan for really being so kind to us, for welcoming us with open arms for the whole time that we've been here. And for me personally, for the year and a half that I've been here, I have nothing but really wonderful memories. So I think it's just a way to express our gratitude to South Sudan, to launch it here globally before we have it screened anywhere else.
Do you hope to raise some funds from the screening of this documentary?
We do. So we're asking that anyone from the public who's coming to donate 100 SSP or 50 SSP for a child. And all these proceeds are going to be donated to the South Sudan Nurses and Midwives Association. And they're doing an amazing work all around the world. All around the country, South Sudan. They have state chapters. I think now it's almost reached 17 states, 18 states, something like that. And they're not only are they supporting the livelihoods of nurses and midwives in the profession, they're also supporting them outside of the profession to develop business trainings, to develop VSLAs. So I think the work that they're doing is amazing, and your donations will be going to support them and the amazing work that they're doing to support the professions of nurses and midwives.
Before we talk about the length of the documentary, Scovia, are you satisfied about the way midwives are appreciated in terms of their pay, their allowances? Are you paid by the government or a private sector?
I'm paid by the private sector.
Are you satisfied with that?
With the partners, I'm satisfied with what I'm given. But I
you
don't
have
feel
colleagues who are working in other
Yes.
sectors, including the government.
Yes. But there are those ones who are in the government where the payment is not fair, and I don't feel good because delivering the services might not be equally the same like somebody who is having a pay. Because for you to give services, you need to be willing and also be appreciated, and you work with the strength.
Great. Daniel, is there anything you guys can do about that?
This is a complicated
Because this
question.
is about saving lives, Brian. It's about saving lives.
It's a systemic problem. This is something that is a bit bigger than our interventions. Really, we're here to work with the association, to strengthen the association, and to do whatever they can to help improve the lives of nurses and midwives. I think when we're talking about civil servant salary, this is a bit beyond what we can achieve here. I think this is has to do with economics first and foremost. I think when you have a strong economy and you have a strong tax base, and then you can fund things like education, like healthcare, like civil servant salaries. So I think it's a bit beyond the scope of maybe what we have to deal with here at the Canadian Midwives, but it's an important question to ask, and I'm really happy that you're bringing it up.
Great. Daniel, are you hoping to raise some small funds? You're going to be charging at the entrance.
Yeah, like I said before, it's going to be 100 SSP at the entrance for the public. But of course, this movie is celebrating nurses and midwives, and so it's free for nurses, midwives, and for nursing and midwifery students. So if they come and they have some sort of ID they can show us, they get in to see the film for free. But it's not only about the film. We also have some musical acts. We have some dancing. It's co-hosted by Sinama, so Sinama is going to be emceeing the event. So it's a lot of other activities as well. So it's going to be a fun day overall, and we encourage everybody to come out.
And how long is it going to be? And what time exactly is it starting?
The doors open at 12. We're hoping to kick it off around 1:30 with some songs and some music. The film itself is only 30 minutes, so it's very manageable and it's very enjoyable. So if everyone could be there before 1:30, it would be great, so we can all have our seats and really enjoy the show.
What's the number of people you're expecting?
We're expecting around 600. So that's sort of what we're within our. What we can manage. We're hoping to have, we're aiming for 600 people around for tomorrow. Yeah.
You had it there from Daniel. All you need to do is just get yourself to Nyakron Cultural Center tomorrow at midday and watch that fantastic documentary of midwives' lives in South Sudan and Canada. However, let's talk about the title, Voice, Choice, Change. Why that title? Is that the title of the film?
Yes, it is the title of the film. I think it really speaks to the mothers who are receiving services from midwives. It really is about their voice and really listening to the mothers. It's really about them having the choice in how they want their birth circumstances to go. And through that, we can really, together, we can change society, we can change our communities. So really, and it really speaks to how midwives are change agents in their communities and change agents in their health centers. So I think that really the title, we wanted to really show the strength and the influence that midwives have.
Great. We are coming to the end of this morning's edition of this interview with my guests, beautiful, fantastic guests. That's Daniel and Scovia, who's also a midwife, and then Daniel is the manager of all this of all this that we are talking about today. And tomorrow is the screening of the movie or documentary of Voice, Choice, Change. It's about the lives of midwives in South Sudan. In comparison, are you comparing with the one in Canada? Is it so?
Pardon me?
Are you comparing the lives of midwives in South Sudan and in Canada?
It's not a comparison.
But it is.
It's not a comparison.
What is it about?
It's about showcasing the commonalities, the common struggles, and the common strength that they have. So we're trying not to compare, because of course the contexts are very different.
Definitely.
But it's about showing bridging the gap. It's about showing the similarities between the two. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for coming then.
Thank you very much for having us.
Scovia?
Thank you.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
See you tomorrow then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Daniel,
Thank
I hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Shukran kathira lewa hudurtakum.
Shukran.
Have a nice day. Yes, it's Friday. Like I told you, we're going to be having more music, more entertainment. It's coming up to 5 minutes of there, and then there'll be the news summaries, and then we'll be crossing over to